Hey buddy, Crow back again with another Pinball FX3 table. We're looking at Williams Pinball Pack number 4. The first table on that, Whitewater, is what we're going to be looking at. And just for clarification, I did get this table pack for free. And I am playing on PC, so I will be playing these uncensored. If you are playing on console, you may see some differences or whatnot, and I will actually make a video in the future, as I've done for all the previous tables, comparing what has actually been changed between the uncensored and censored versions. But for right now, let's jump into Whitewater.
Howdy, partner!
Alright, so this is Whitewater, released by Williams in January 1993, designed by Dennis Nordman. 7,008 of these machines were produced. Well, that's what the Internet Pinball Machine Database says, at any rate. Now, before I get into the machine itself, what you're looking at right now is the game being played in single classic player arcade mode with the enhancements turned off. And just to eliminate any confusion, single classic player is the only mode that lets you play with Zen Studios' more realistic ball and flipper physics. The regular single player mode, the mode that lets you use the power-ups, still uses the ball and flipper physics that all the original Zen tables use in Pinball FX3. I wanted to mention this here because starting with Table Pack 4, Zen Studios has introduced new flipper physics that are even more realistic than before. The most noticeable thing about it is that the flippers will move slightly if hit with the ball at a high speed, as seen here in slow motion. It's not available yet for tables in previous Williams table packs as of yet, but it should be over time. Now, as for Whitewater itself, the basic theme of this table is whitewater rafting, and the playfield is full of hazards for the ball to navigate around the playfield. If you're new to the table, it can be quite confusing at first because there are multiple levels and the ball might not always go where you expect it to. Right from the start, you'll have to carefully plunge the ball up the ramp so it doesn't wrap all the way around the playfield, but instead rolls back to the upper right flipper. The skill shot is appropriately named Insanity Falls, which is the pathway back to the left flipper with several drops and a long looping turn. It's probably the most impressive shot to make in the game. An alternate shot from the upper right flipper leads to Bigfoot's Bluff, which involves the Bigfoot toy in the area. If Bigfoot's paying attention, he'll divert the ball to the whirlpool, and that's where it'll go most of the time. But if you can distract Bigfoot with a hot foot, and yes, you can do that in the game, then the ball will go into Bigfoot's cave for a jackpot. There's just so many pathways and hidden locations in this table, such as the Boulder Gardens, which are the pop bumpers that are cleverly hidden in the rocky area along the right side of the table. There's the Lost Mines, the Spine Chiller, the Disaster Drop, and so on, and I just won't go through them all. The main goal of the table really is to help get all the rafts to Wet Willy, and to start that mode. Well, at least that's what the achievement award for this table is in Pinball FX3. And it's not really so hard to do it, as the game will always light which ramp or pathways need to be hit in order to advance each raft. And none of them are really difficult to hit with practice, especially if you play in regular single player mode with all the power-ups turned on, such as the rewind feature. And before we continue on to the enhancements of this table, let's take a look at this back box and topper of this table, because I was really impressed by the way Zen Studios made this look in the game. And alright, that's enough. Let's go on to the enhancements. So what about the visual enhancements for this table? Well, they can be turned on and off with the touch of the button, like the other Williams table. So what's in store for Whitewater? Well, other than the usual sidewall art and a couple of rafts and tubes on the table, the Boulder Garden has some extra animations, but the biggest change is the removal of the Bigfoot toy for a fully animated Bigfoot on the table in place of it. He's pretty well animated, he's scratching his butt or picking his nose, but he'll also throw boulders at you, as well as some other animations related to what's going on the table. The weird thing is that he's so much smaller than the original toy, and they understand that the toy itself was just the upper part of Bigfoot. Shrinking him down just so we can see his whole body is a bit weird. On top of that, he's near the back of the playfield as well, so he's really just less noticeable unless you have the active camera on, and I never play with the active camera on. So for me, the enhancements are a bit less noticeable on this table than on others. So in this case, I may prefer to play with the enhancements off because I think I prefer the original toy rather than the tiny animated Bigfoot. And that about covers what I want to say about this table. And coming up next, you'll see some side-by-side comparisons. And previously, I've compared the arcade and tournament settings in the single classic player mode, but I've taken the tournament settings out of the mix, since from what I understand, the incline of the tables aren't going to be as steep as they used to be going forward. And because of that, it would be mostly smaller changes between the two modes, making it harder to compare visually. So from this video forward, in these Pinball FX3 videos that I make, we're only going to see comparisons of the Zen physics in the single player regular mode versus the single classic player mode arcade setting. We're not going to take a look at the tournament settings, which is just really rule changes and some minor, post changes and stuff from what I understand. And then we'll look at regular versus the regular mode versus the enhancements turned on. And we'll also take a look at this table compared with the Pinball arcade version of the table that was released many years ago. And then following that will be a full, albeit short game played during the stream in the single classic player arcade mode with the enhancements turned on, and then some final comments after that. Alright, so firstly we're going to look at the single player mode versus the single classic player mode. That is the original Zen physics on the left, the physics that you would normally see in all of Zen's tables, even the original ones, versus the custom physics for these Williams tables that's more realistic. This has the updated flipper physics as well. That's on the right. I don't know if you're really going to be able to tell much of anything from the footage, except, the flippers are going to kind of react just a little bit differently. The ball physics a little bit differently. But now we're looking at with the enhancements off on the left, with the enhancements on the right, so you get a side-by-side comparison of that. And the biggest thing that you'll see way in the back is that the Bigfoot toy has been turned into a full sized creature, even though he's kind of like proportionately a lot smaller than he used to be. Interesting, but aside from the the extra rafts and everything, I think I prefer the enhancements off in this game. So here we are now looking at Pinball FX3 on the left compared to Pinball Arcade on the right. And it does look substantially different, different lighting, slightly different colors here and there. And I know, to me, Pinball FX3 looks better, but it is newer, and Pinball Arcade table is a lot older. But the most striking thing to me, and this always struck me as odd when playing it in Pinball Arcade, is that the Bigfoot toy is white in the Pinball Arcade, and I never understood why it's white. Maybe they kind of modeled it after somebody's custom game, or maybe there really are white Bigfoots out there, but I've always really seen it as the regular brown, which is what you see in Pinball FX3. And, even right now where his head is spinning around and clipping into the body, I just felt that was really, really weird. So, yeah, just take it as what it may. And right now we're going to see a game I had during the live stream I did during this table. It does like to go down the middle, doesn't it? Oh man, I should have had the flipper up. I know it's not lit, but just wanted something safe. Also, it gave me the perfect link I needed. Ah, man. Yeah, it is. You getting me the ball back? Yes. Because it didn't actually hit anything. There we go. Okay, we're getting that ball back. Or, multi-ball, really. Come on. Perfect. Got in there. Cool. Ah!
Okay, got them both. There we go. Oh, why did it do that? There we go. Don't like the WW flippers are too steep. Not sure what you mean by WW. Yes, the Xbox version, the Switch version, PlayStation version, they're all censored. But in this table, you're not really going to notice too much. I'll have a video in a few weeks where I'll, after I do videos for all these tables, I'll put up a video with the whatever's been censored. Like I do on my channel. Perfect. That's what I wanted. That boulder was kind of distracting. Come on. Shoot. Okay, advanced RAF. Let's see if we can get it in there. Got it. There we go. Oh, lost the ball though. I lost both balls. And there goes the third one. Oh, I had an extra ball. Nice. Ooh, 5 climbs playfield. Nice. Watch me lose the ball in like 3 seconds. There we go. Whoa! Now I did lose, really did lose the ball. Not too bad. I think we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna move on. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for me to top this. Yeah, it's definitely the game I'm going to put in the video.
And that is Whitewater. The table itself might seem complicated at first with all the levels and pathways and everything, but as you play it, you begin to understand the table and it kind of becomes second nature, I suppose. As for the enhancements being on or off, well, if you like them, you like them, and if you don't, you don't. I think a lot of people that play this, at least the vocal people, will tend to play without the enhancements on because they like to play it, you know, as true to life as possible. But I myself like to turn the enhancements on every once in a while just to try something different. I mean, we are playing this in video form, and it's, you know, interesting that there's that little Bigfoot standing in the corner that doing all that weird stuff and everything. But as I was watching the game, I noticed one thing that the animated enhanced Bigfoot doesn't do that the actual toy does, and that's that the actual toy will literally move that diverter with his hands, whereas the animated one just kind of ignores it altogether, and I think that's a little bit of a miss there. So I've got to lean towards the enhancements being off on this one, just because it is more entertaining to see the actual toy do it. But that's going to be it for this video. If you made it this far and you liked the video, please do like the video. And if you made it this far and haven't yet subscribed yet, I do recommend subscribing because I have plenty of videos just like this. Pinball FX3, Zaccaria Pinball, and Pinball Arcade videos up on my channel with plenty more videos to come. Thanks for watching.